Hi, it's Lauren from Wearing History. I am showing you how to do the armhole and finish the armhole of the 1930s Baby Layette pattern. Now we've come to where we've sewn our sleeve into the armhole, and now in the original instructions it says to turn in and overhand the edges together or stitch it together. So I actually did not know what an overhand stitch was. I've just found out. Thank you, Internet. So I thought I'd show you what I believe they're trying to tell us to do in order to finish this. Now the shoulder seams and the side seams were done by French seams, which I have a tutorial for on my blog. But the armhole is just so tiny. Like, look how tiny that is. There's no way that you could French seam that into place if you were to sew it traditionally in the round like that. So to overhand, what you need is two folded edges. So this is the outside of the body of the gown here. This is the sleeve, because you can see that there's like little eased in gathers right here. Your seam allowance was 1/2 inch. So what I'm going to suggest you do is turn in 1/4, and you can finger press that, or I mean, you could press it with an iron, but it's just so fiddly. I think that finger pressing is going to be your best bet. So what I do is just press it between my fingers, and I sometimes will rub my fingernail on there just to give it a nice crisper edge. Now I'm going to turn this around and do the same thing for the other side. Now the gathering is going to be a little harder because you're going to have to ease it in, but turn in again 1/4 inch, or just butt up the cut edge to the stitch line right there. You don't want to overlap it because you'll get bulk, but just try to fold it in. It's real fiddly. This is going to be pretty interesting for you to try to do at home because it's kind of fiddly for me too. Alright, now you've got both of the ones folded together. Let me get in closer here. Well, I guess that's as close as we can go. Alright, so you see both of them are folded in towards each other. Now you're gonna smash them together. So you got your two folded edges butted right next to each other. And then the inside is where the seam allowance is, so the raw edge is encased between those two right there. If you have itty bitty pins, use those. I don't have itty bitty pins. I'm going to have to get by with these monster pins, which usually seem regular size, but today they seem absolutely giant. I'm sorry that I've gone off camera here. So fold in your edge again here. Fold in your edge down at the bottom, and then put them to each other and kind of smooth it and get it as good as you can. It's tough. It's real tough when you have a gathered edge or a curved edge going to a slightly bigger one. Alright, now see in the middle there, I got like stuff sticking up. If it's too big for or too tiny for your fingers, use your pin and push it in and put it together. The goal here is to have all of the raw edges encased between the two. I'm going to work on this, try to get a good stretch of the armhole to where I have it positioned, and then I'll show you how to stitch that in just a second. Alright, I got a little stretch done here. I don't think it's really possible to pin the whole armhole because it's so small. You're going to have to work in small sections. And I know we look kind of like a porcupine here, but yeah, if you have smaller pins, use those. This is sort of an impromptu video. So here is the body of the gown, and then if you flip it under, you can see that's where the gathers of the sleeve were. And I know it's not the most beautiful thing, but it looks like you're going to have some fold it under first and then do some tiny little tucks. As long as the raw edges are encased in the middle, That's what the goal is here. If you want to get as nitpicky as you can and make perfectly little spaced tucks, you're welcome to do that. I'm not, because I just don't have time or energy. But here is, we're going to start, and it goes whichever way you're comfortable sewing. Some people sew from right to left, some sew from right or left to right. Just do whatever makes you most comfortable. So I'm going to go in through the middle here so my little knot is enclosed. Now get real close to that folded edge. Alright. Don't get tangled like me. Help if you take the pin out. Alright. And just do it one more time right there so that you can have that first starting tacked. Okay. Now what you're going to do is you're going to go in at an angle. Close to the edge at an angle, and then back up through the other edge. Okay. And you're going to just keep working in that way. I'm thinking it's easiest to pinch it between your two fingers to get it flat. Go in close to the edge, add a diagonal, and then pull it up. I realize I'm doing tiny little stitches. That's just because I'm really far away. It's hard to see how close I am. Just keep working in that manner all the way around, and then stop where you have no pins. Smooth the rest into place, fold it down like I showed you in the last section, and then keep working. As long as those raw edges are encased in the middle, that is your goal. You can make them as tiny and neat and perfect as you want, or not, because who's going to see the inside of your armhole except for you? I should say, make it as perfectly spaced as you possibly can, but I'm currently pregnant and I don't have the inclination to make everything perfect. Done is good enough. I'm not supposed to say that, am I, being a pattern person? Alright. In and out. I'm taking that guy out because he's annoying. Alright. I hope this is helping you visualize what to do. Just keep doing this all the way across, and that's it. Once you get all the way around, make sure you secure it in place with some stitches. See, we're all encased. Lovely. Alright, hope that helps you visualize how to do an overhand stitch that's used in the 1930s Baby Layette pattern. You can see the pattern at wearinghistory.clothing, and the e-pattern is on wearinghistory.etsy.com.